Anyways, gets in the car and I'm like, all right, mate, like, where am I taking you? He's like, all right, so we got to go home first. Then after we go home, we go to my mate's place. I'm like,
Worst type of bloke.
I didn't agree. I agreed to $50 for getting dropped to the next set of lights. Not this. Then ask, hey man, can I have your charger? I'm not a fucker. I don't have an Uber sticker. I'm there just to pick up my mate. My mate. I'm not throwing on bangs. I'm not offering him a chewy or a minty or a bottle of water.
Okay. Sorry.
Can we start with that and just B-roll?
Why not? Bass, I've got, this story actually fucks me up every time we talk about it, so I'm keen to talk about it because it was a story that involved both of us, but there's two separate timelines that come together as one.
It's the multiverse of madness, mate. It's bloody Iron Man and Thanos just going at it. Just bloody going at it.
What?
That's just how epic this story is, man. It's just,
No, don't overcook it. Don't overcook it. It's a good story. It's an okay story. Please do not think this is fucking Iron Man versus Thanos level storytelling.
This is the end game.
This is She-Hulk to a Daredevil trailer.
This is Eternals. Oh, the
story isn't that bad.
People haven't seen like MCU or like even like, what are they laughing at?
Yeah, okay. We'll get in the story.
We'll bang the story out right now.
Bang it right out. So
open the page 1, and go.
There we are. Authors Luke and Lee. I didn't need to add that. So there was one night where I was going out to a friend's birthday party. She was just having a small to get together, and I was at a bar. Now, I asked Lee to pick me up afterwards, and will we do anything that night?
I was showing you how to use the Roadcaster, and you were showing me how to sort of stream on Twitch as well as just basic editing. So that way, like, cool. I could start to...
So some business stuff.
Yeah, get a feel for it. More like a business meeting, per se.
Yeah. So, look, I organised Lee to pick me up at a certain time, so I went down to this bar, had a good time with some friends, and I've got to say, the drinks at this place, they water down their vodka so much, and I didn't realise that till 10 vodka raspberries in. That
a lot more ice and vodka going on.
You know when you're not even feeling like proper buzz, you're just feeling a little good, and you just go...
I must admit that, because I remember getting you, and I was like, you seem so incredibly sober.
Yep.
And this personal opinion...
Yep.
Didn't really strike me as sort of a vibe where you could probably be that level. I was expecting him more like, hey man, like, let's get like just a bit like louder, like especially I wouldn't say drunk because I know that you don't like to be drunk per se, but I thought you were definitely going to be tipsy. So when you came into the car and you were sober, I was like, well, I thought more or less you were. So I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like,
well, I thought so. I had 10 vodka raspberries. I thought I was going to be, a bit tipsy as well, but no, they watered down their drinks big time. So anyway, I was at this my friend's birthday, and we're all having drinks, we're all enjoying our time, and then this guy, and it's early in the night too, and then this guy comes up and starts playing his live music, and it's just your solo guitarist singing along, and he's just
standard. Yeah,
he's just doing his thing before the night gets busy. Anyway, there's this one guy who is off his chops. And he goes up to the guitarist and just starts singing along and banging on a chair next to him, pretending to be a drunk. But he wasn't being, don't think of that dickhead drunk that you've got in your mind right now. It wasn't a dickhead drunk. He wasn't hurting anyone, or he wasn't upsetting anyone's time.
More like a life of the party sort of drunk, would you say?
Yeah, trying to be and failing miserably.
Get the vibe up for everyone. Yeah. Just really pick it up. Be the hype man.
That's it. One of those guys who does that, but everyone watches and goes, oh, you're not my hype, man. You are. You try to be someone else's.
You're putting in a lot of effort here, buddy.
Yeah, out of 100 people, maybe 2 people would get your vibe.
Yeah, because then like fucking Jono's there. He's like, oh, Cameron, you are sick, bro. Like while he's hitting like the chair, and everyone else is like,
yeah,
why is this guy doing this?
Yeah, even if I did a bag coke ket and I was about to go skydiving, I couldn't be excited to see you. There's just you're just one of those people that you have to have the select crowd. And he was just really trying to get a few people's attention. He was just going up to the guitarist and dancing along with him. And even the guitarist was sitting there just like, I don't want you around me, man. Like, you're now embarrassing both of us.
Guitarist just trying to push him away. Move.
It's my solo.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So we were watching and we were like, fuck, this guy he's on the drags. He's on some drags. and it was just embarrassment. Anyway, I was like, oh, when we all make our little jokes as well, like, oh, and we may have thought that it was his dad because they looked a little bit similar.
Okay.
And so then we made jokes about that poor kid. He just wants to play his guitar and his dad's ruining his night.
See, that's kind of funny when you flip it that way.
Yeah. So made a few jokes and the kind of guy you just want to stay away from. Anyway, Lee messaged me. He's like, hey, man, out the front. I'm like, sweet. Awesome as. I walk out the front. See Lee's car. I'm like, fantastic. Walk down and I see Lee and I get in the car. I'm like, hey, bruz, what's up? And he's like, hey, man. And I just hear this other voice and I look in the back and it's that fucking guy in Lee's back seat. I have no idea how he got there. I have no idea why he got there. And I have no idea why Lee even let it happen. So I'm confused as shit because I thought I got away from this man.
You think you're confused. Shock horror and how I felt. So my side of the story is, I finish work. I'm like, all right, sweet, I'll get Luke. Just like, oh, yeah, I'll pull over here thinking, that's cool. Like, Luke can do his goodbyes because a true gentleman has to say goodbye to everyone. Not once, but 3 times. Because they might have forgotten that you were going to leave. So I'm waiting for Luke. I sent him a message, and there's this guy. He's like, oh, hey, mate, like, do you know how I can get a cab or an Uber? And my answer is, yeah, just call him. Like, what do you fucking mean? Like, it's 2022, mate. It's like, oh, my phone said it. I'm like, oh, that sucks, man. Like, because I'm like, not my problem. Like, I got my own issues. Yeah. I don't need another issue. This guy's just like, wait, man, how about listen to me? And I'm like where the and in my head I'm doing like, where the fuck is like I want to talk to this guy. I legitimately came here to pick him up and just go back to his.
You better be on his second round of goodbyes, minimum.
If he's about to walk out of the fucking bar right now, I'm throwing hands. He's like, wait, man, this is a really nice car. How about if I give you money, you just drop me home. No, he actually originally said take me to a mate's.
Car is.
Yeah. And God, I'm a sucker for a comment like that.
And that's so what if you didn't mention how nice your car was, you wouldn't pay.
I still was just, God, no, man, I'm simply just here to pick up my mate. I'm going, and I'm not going the way that you're going, which usually is a safe, like, oh, fuck. At least if I'm trying to grab a lift from someone, I'm like, oh, man, are you going this way? And they're like, no. I'm like, no, well, fuck, I tried. Like,
yeah.
Sort of thing. You leave it at that. This guy was the king of persistency, being persistent. I don't know if that's the right word.
I think it is.
You get on like, he's just like, oh, come on, man. And all that. I'm like, oh, how far do you need to go? And he legitimately told me, and this is the only reason why I said yes. He was like, I just need to go just down the road. And I was like, just down the road to like the next set of like traffic lights. That's a piece of piss.
Especially for cash.
That's fine, yeah. And he's like, man, I will give you, he started with 50. By the time you got in the car, it went to 100. Anyways, Luke comes up, gets in the car, and he's sort of like, hey, man, how's it? And I'm like looking at him like, how do you think it's fucking going? I've got no idea who the fuck's in my back seat. I don't even know his fucking name at this point. All I know is that he likes my car. He thinks my car's good. And, mate, you're a legend. Thank you so much for doing this. Something good will happen to you. Like, he just kept on persistence, which is, as soon as I knew, I was like, this guy is fact. Like, well and truly fact.
It's the drags.
Anyways, gets in the car and I'm like, all right, mate, like, where am I taking you? He's like, all right, so we got to go home first. Then after we go home, we go to my mate's place. I'm like,
worst type of bloke.
I didn't agree. I agreed to $50 for getting dropped to the next set of lights. Not this. Then ask, hey man, can I have your charger? I'm not a fucker. I don't have an Uber sticker. I'm there just to pick up my mate. My mate, I'm not throwing on bangs. I'm not offering him a chewy or a minty or a bottle of water. I'm not like, so then I'm asking him questions like, oh yeah, like, did you have a good time? Like,
maybe you are an Uber driver with those questions.
Try to make some sort of conversation. I don't know whether this guy's going to kill me, shank me, take my body, touch you. I don't know what this guy's intentions are, man. Mate, you cannot tell me that he's not the type of guy that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he was touchy because I know you don't like to be touched, and he kept putting. He did that thing
coming like around the seat, like his hands on my shoulder.
He was in the middle seat, put his hands on both of our shoulders, and kind of head in the middle of the car, kind of trying to be with us. And I'm like, I don't like this at all.
And then he's telling me, so then I'm like, fuck, he's from Melbourne. 9 times out of 10, the safe bet of a Melbourneian is they follow footy. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just strike a footy conversation. That should hopefully make the time. Ends up being an Essendon supporter. For those who don't know, I'm an Essendon supporter as well. So I was like, sweet. I can just bullshit this conversation. Like, real easy conversation. I'm still asking him, like, all right, where do I need to go, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and all that. It goes from talking to footy, and you know what, fuck, because I'm never ever going to see this guy ever again. Leads over just randomly goes from talking about footy and how good going to the footy with his son is and all that. To just
and didn't he say that his friend that he was going to was a footballer?
Claimed in quotation marks, which also fuck him if it's true. Claimed his mate plays for St Kilda.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. That's kind of cool that the mate that you want me to drop you off is going to St Kilda. And then he goes from drop me off to, do you want to meet him? And I was like, oh, mate, like, I definitely don't want to meet him.
I don't want to meet you, but
I didn't even want you to be in my car right now, and sort of thing. And he's just like, nah, man, like, oh, so of course, I'm just like, oh, does he play? He's like, no, he's not good as shit. Like, he said so good as shit. I'm like, okay.
Shit, mate.
I'm still driving this guy that I've never met before. Randomly just all of a sudden goes, boys, do you want to do some coke? I'm like, mate, it's a Sunday night. The next day's Anzac Day. I don't even know your name. No, I don't.
I'm also driving. We're not at the club.
Yeah. I don't even know. It turns out realistically, I didn't have to drive too far. But I still, to this day, I have no idea where the fuck I dropped him. I don't know whether it was his house, his mate's house, his missus. I don't know where we dropped him.
Yeah,
all I know is I went in a driveway. There was a car behind me, and I was like, fuck, I think I'm in this person's driveway. He's like, yeah, that's my mate's driveway. And I'm still there like, I thought I was dropping you at your... I'm fucked. Now I'm confused.
We turn in, and I pointed to a house as we turn into this street. And he goes, yeah, that one. I go, so that's your house? And he goes, no. And I'm like, why say it then? And then he goes up and he goes, yeah, we'll go to my mate's house. And he goes, that's my mate's house. And he points to this house at the end of a court, which is extremely nice, easily over, $1.1 million. It was a nice house. And I see, and what was worrying for me, he goes, yeah, drop me up in that driveway or drop me off in front of that house. In front of that house was a mother unpacking grocery bags with 2 kids in a trampoline jumping up and down. And I was like, we are not dropping off this potential murderer.
Yeah, I'm still,
raging on coke.
I'm still lost.
To this house.
And this guy constantly is like, man, I will give you money. And I'm like, sweet, but I thought we were going back to yours so that way you could grab your wallet, so that way you could give me cash, so then give me the money.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I'll transfer you. And I'm like, I don't really want to give this guy my bank details.
This is where Lee was a bit nervous, but because he said, yeah, I haven't got my wallet on me. This is my mate's house now. I was like,
I genuinely was like, what a fucking stitch up.
Yeah,
like,
so
I just grabbed a free lift.
So when I grabbed bank details and Lee's at the wheel, I'm like, yep, sweet. And I quickly, I don't know if I grabbed I think I grabbed his phone.
Yeah.
And I grabbed his phone and I entered in the bank details straight away to make sure they were accurate and ready to go. So this was all a guessing game if this money was going to go into Lee's account.
Yeah, so this guy's like, mate, what do we agree on? And I was like, you said 100, so yeah, 100. Mind you, this lift would have only been seriously $15.
Yeah.
And all that. A couple of days pass, so we get out of the car. I'm still like, mate, I don't know I genuinely don't know what the fuck that was. Luke's thinking that it's the most funniest thing ever. I'm like, low key, like, oh yeah, it's funny, but like, seriously, why the fuck did you not get out of the bar? Like, what the fuck was that? How dare you fucking stitch me up? Like, what the absolute fuck is going on? A couple of days passed. I've been just at work, like, out of curiosity. Surely he hasn't actually transferred me the money because he was giving me no inclination of like he would. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls who are listening to the Morokaii podcast, that is Morokaii with 2 eyes, by the way. Shit, you know, the guy actually transferred me $50.
Hey.
I was like, what a fucking legend. The description.
He's now in the good books.
I may give him another lift. Preferably when he's sober, though. He was a little bit scary and a bit too touchy-feely for me. But yeah, the description, I'll have to look it up after this. I think it was just like, thanks heaps, legend. Good things happen to good people. And I was like, I mean, thanks. Like,
look, Lee's Uber career has started off strong. He now has a contact who has an abundance of money, knows famous people, and has a bag of Coke on him whenever he needs.
So, guys, if you want the details, leave a comment down below. No, I'm not doing that. But it's probably one of the most random like things that I have experienced in my short life of 26 years.
It was funny to me because you always see, if you go out to a bar or somewhere, there may be someone who is extremely embarrassing. There might be someone who's the life of the party. There might be someone who started a fight. There's some story, and most likely there's a dickhead or someone who is just annoying that you can't wait to leave and tell your partner, your best friend, your other group of friends about the experience you had. So when I was walking to the car, I couldn't wait to tell Lee about this fucking weirdo that was just killing the vibes in this bar. So to then sit down and be like, hey man, and just before I can tell the story, I just see him in the back seat. Now I laugh about it. At that time I was like, oh my fucking God.
It was for the most part though, it started off as such a silent car trip.
It did.
So it was just like, fuck my life.
One guy full of coke, another guy not knowing where he's driving him to, and another guy who has had 10 watered down vodka raspberries and is pissed about paying money for them.
Yeah, just got the raspberry cordials. But on the basis of driving around, just to flip the subject, just while we have a bit of extra time, I have a question for you, my good friend.
Mm.
Right now you live, a little bit out from the city. Could you live in the city?
No.
Would you be able to? No, just straight no.
Just straight
Didn't even think about it. He's just saying
I
no.
hate the city.
Really?
Yeah, I hate how people act in the city. I hate the fucking group mentality. I have been yelled at by that many homeless people that it's just not a vibe. And what the part I don't understand the most, and I will never in my life get this. Why are properties in Melbourne so expensive? They're run down. There's not enough space. They'll go for over $1 million, and all you get is basically a 1-bedroom. I'm talking about the houses that are just a bit further out from Melbourne. You kind of don't get a car space either. What happens if you need your groceries? Do you actually? This is what has always fucked me, and I don't know anyone in the city. Do you actually take a tram or a train or a bus into the city to a compact, small Aldi, Woolworths, Coles to then bring back you could only take 4 bags. And what, you're carrying those bags around? If you want to go shopping somewhere else, you can't. You've got 4 bags.
Well,
your hands are full.
That's a fair
How
call.
do you people shop?
It's a fair call. I was in the city Friday night.
Yep.
I hate the public transport into the city.
Yep.
A lot. I hate it so fucking much. I will say though, the city nightlife, and I have always said, I think the city is actually very nice and all that, but I'm with you. I couldn't do it, man. I think there's way too much going on. It's too loud. I fucking hate bumper-to-bumper traffic. I don't like it stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. I fucking hate hook turns, and I cannot... Whoever came up with that idea, you're a fuckwit. Like, just straight fuckwit. Like, that is so dumb. I get tooted up from the people in front of me, behind me, to the side. I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable, and I get scared. And it's just not an experience anyone should do. Not only that, but you're right, like... I think it could be everywhere, but yeah, there's a lot of homeless as well that can be quite aggressive.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have any loose change. And all of that. Like, it's just, yeah, I like that the city, especially of Melbourne, has like the mixture of old buildings that look as if they've been there forever and a day. Then you got like the new infrastructure and all that. I like that vibe, but I do agree. Yeah, certain parts that you go like, say Fitzroy is completely different to Collingwood, and Collingwood's completely different to Carlton. Carlton's different to Footscray. Everyone's different, but people in Fitzroy are like, oh, where's my soy chai latte with 3 sugars and soybean cafe almond milk, versus the other guy who's like from Brunswick or whatever, and he's just like, yeah, mate, just want a coffee, fucking 2 sugars, two full creams, sort of thing. And it's like, they're all like so upper class and ancient, like, ooh, we're better than you because we're from Fitzroy. And like, it's just shit. It's just like, no,
there
you live in the city.
Sectors,
like, you know what I mean?
No,
though?
there
like,
definitely is. My mate got a cafe out there
like,
recently, and there's definitely that type. It's not all people, but there are
it's
some
definitely
people.
not all people,
Yeah,
but like there is a large portion. And I
you're
suppose
right.
because we're like this way of the city,
Yep.
you just don't like. I don't
Well,
know,
I like that there's
like
right now outside I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
I like that I can go out in my backyard and I can throw a basketball. I don't know what that, maybe a cat, but like I just
But you got the opportunity, you know.
you know, the
Well,
old
you
classic
actually have a
throwy
backyard
cat.
though, no? Because I agree. Because even like this house.
No,
in
sorry.
the city-
I would never throw a basketball at a cat.
Disclaimer.
I can't let that slide.
Disclaimer. But that's the thing though, like because I agree. Like in the city, just units.
Yeah.
Units. A slither of grass.
Yeah. If you're lucky.
And the thing as well that fucks me up the most about houses in Melbourne, close mate of mine, his younger brother was living in one. I was always like, oh, the houses look like really, like from the front. Their houses are like long ways. Like they are. Like built that way. The rooms are tiny, but it's just long.
Yeah, they are very
And
long.
I was like, what? Why is that is
wall to wall, just
Yeah.
long. I personally don't understand wanting to be so close to everything when everything that's so close is then so hard to get to. If I go to a shopping centre near me and I want to do my grocery shopping, I can get bags and bags and bags and I can just walk into my car. Then I can go back in. I can go and have a look at other shops. I can do this, that. I can then easily go to park. There is no traffic. There's no hold up. There's nothing. And I think I can get the nightlife part, but to a certain extent, like I know.
I feel like that'd get pretty sick pretty quick though, in that sense.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the exact same. And I know that they say that you can save a lot of money by finding the right places and getting the right meals, but it's always
trial. It's a lot of trial and error though until you really find those niche ones that you're like, yeah, sweet, I can save.
And how many times are you going to be like, okay, now I'm going to go take an elevator down to the ground floor, then I'm going to walk over to a tram, take a tram for 5 minutes to my favourite spot, then eat at my favourite spot, then take a tram back, and it's just, again, we hate public transport.
I think as well, personally, for me, if I lived in the city, yes, I know that there's still supermarkets and all that though, I reckon I would be 10 times worse for like an Uber Eats or... Because it'd just be it'd be so easy for me just to be like, oh, fuck it, I'm not going to cook. Like,
you'd have so
why
much
would
more
I?
options. Yeah.
Especially when this person's going to deliver it at my door.
Yeah.
Or like to my apartment, like even if it's like the bottom of the stair, like whatever they do. Like I can just picture myself spending endless amounts of cash on that. And the other thing as well is getting a car park, like for some of these units, is
it's pointless.
Honestly, you'd be just better off buying a bike, which I think is why there's so many bike riders in it. Like seriously, like
the only benefit I could see is that if you go out and you decide to get drunk, whether it be a bar, a club, you have somewhere that's 5 minutes away that you can just stay. But for me, I don't go out that much, so I would just book
like an Airbnb,
or at a hotel for the night, or anyway. So get the best of both worlds. But yeah, I don't know. I like living out here way more.
I'm the same. I like this side personally. Just again, I think the city's beautiful. There's certain things about the city that I really do like.
I appreciate it, but I couldn't live in it.
But it's just too much for me. I just like to have my own. I don't want everyone to just be there. Like, I don't know.
So
Like, it sounds stupid, but yeah, like where I'm from as well, like it's not too busy. It's still close enough though to like go into the city or like go to the shops and all that. But I just don't want all that other issue. Plus crime rates. Like, I don't want to be that guy that jumps to like a crime rate issue and all that. But
why not? That's a good point.
Walking around where we are at night, I would say is already a bit touch and go. In the city though, man, like you hear all this sort of like no fucking thing. I don't care whether it's a female or a male. Like no thanks.
Yeah.
No fucking thank
No,
you.
that's a real good point. Yeah, but crime.
Like even when we've been in a group, man, on the way from a club, sometimes and you're just like walking past, and it's just like,
this is the pack
you just get like that
mentality.
sort of like eerie sort of feeling. Where
Yeah, because so many
I'm a
people
bit
in
on
big
edge,
groups
like
just trying to make eye contact to start something. It's just, I don't know. I just don't like the vibe. I like it here a lot more. But I can definitely appreciate, without a doubt, a good night out in the city with a good group of friends, especially if you've booked a place like a hotel or
most
anything.
definitely.
I can appreciate that. But other than that, I'm gone for like a few months or even more.
Yeah.
But we'll end it there, Bass. So that is, thank you guys for listening. That's Morokaii with two eyes.
Don't forget it. Leave a like. Rate it out of 5 on Spotify and just keep on keeping on. See you guys in the next one.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. Boom.